actually, no, it says online. Because on here it says, sorry, live chat is currently unavailable. What? I see myself and it says that I'm live. So there we go. We got a visitor. Welcome. So this is the live stream. Oh, the Christmas live stream. A bit different, not doing it to a Q&A, not really knowing, but we're going to, and there's nobody here now. So we're going to be talking about Christmas stories and memories of better times and better Christmases and what it means to me today. Got my dog here. She's whinging. She now wants to go outside. She is a Christmas dog. My wife just reminded me she's here with me that Taya was a Christmas present to both me and my wife. Taya's my dog. She's just over 1 year old now, and we got her December last year when she was only a month old. And yeah, so we call her our Christmas dog. She was our Christmas gift to each other. Beautiful little girl she is. She whinges a lot. I don't know if anyone else has got German shepherds. Are they all whingers? Do they all moan and groan and cry and continuously just whinge? I don't know. I was warned that she'd be a Velcro dog, and she very much is a Velcro dog. She just hangs off me all the time. She's always with me, but my wife just went outside, so she's more interested in where my wife is. Oh man! So it's Christmas. I'm going to start it off with my favorite Christmas movies and Christmas songs. And I'll probably share I don't know what my wife's favorite Christmas movie is. She just loves Christmas movies. She's massively into those Hallmark style Christmas movies. I'm not that big into them, but she does. She loves them. The cornier, the better, really. We actually watched one not last night, the night before, I think it was. We watched what was it called? Holiday Touchdown. It was sort of about the Kansas City Chiefs and being the number one fan. It was all right. Not much that I enjoyed about it, but it had a bit of a football theme, so I could get into it a bit. But my favorite Christmas movie is uh, I actually I've actually drawn a blank on what it's actually called. It's the one with Tim Allen. I think it was called the Santa Claus, the first one. I actually liked all three. The second one was, or the third one was a bit corny, where um, the toys come alive. But yeah, Santa Claus, Santa Claus the movie. Somebody might be able to help me out with what it was actually called. That would be helpful. But yeah, I love that movie from the time it came out. I don't know why, but it would be my favorite go-to Christmas movie, and I do like to watch it every year. I'm not even too sure how old I was. You might be able to hear and see my dog in the background going nuts. She gets a bit excited. She just had a dinner, so now she's going to be doing her little dance. Let's watch it for a moment. Go, Taya. This is her favorite. This is her favorite game. No, I don't want to play with you. No. She's also not the most socially social media friendly dog. Every time you put the camera on her, she stops whatever she's doing. She doesn't like the camera being on her. We tried to set up a TikTok account for her, but yeah, no, she won't do anything. She'll do it over my shoulder now. She knows doesn't think anyone's watching her. But I think, back to the Christmas movies, I think the what would be my other Christmas movie? Oh, so bad with names and being put on the spot, I can never actually think about those things. Um, it's an old black and white one. Um, It'll come to me later, but it's like the Christmas Wish, a Christmas Tale. I don't know. God damn it, I hate it when my memory fades like that. Now you get a true sense of what my videos are actually like before they get edited. I start thinking about things and then I can't remember the name of them and I just start dribbling on. So, but we're getting there. And that's the point of going live, learning how to just speak and try and stay on topic. But yeah, that Tim Allen one, Santa Claus the movie or something like that, perfect. Now, as far as songs go, my favorite Christmas song is the classics. I love that. I love the Bing Crosby song. Um, that "Dreaming of a White Christmas." Can't remember what the name of the song is, but I that's what really gets me going with a Christmas song. I love those old style crooners that sing Christmas song. I'm into Michael Bublé when he does his Christmas things. Yeah, that crooner style. My wife, she absolutely loves George Michael's. Whatever his Christmas song was called. I can't remember. Last Christmas. That's it. She loves that song. So we have a couple of favorite Christmas songs, and yeah, you don't really get too many people doing Christmas songs. Like I think they still Mariah Carey, Taya, knock it off. Come in, come on. If you want to come up, come up. But you can't because they're busy. Taya, you're a menace to society. You are. Getting back to the Christmas movies, who thinks Die Hard's a Christmas movie? Just because it's set at Christmas time, does that make it a Christmas movie? I think not. And it's the same with Home Alone. Just because like it's set at Christmas time doesn't make it a Christmas movie. I don't think so. I kind of think that Christmas movies more should be around like the miracle of Christmas, something like that. That's why I like the Santa Claus movies. I think there was another one back in the 80s called The Santa Claus or something very similar to that. I remember going to the cinema and seeing it. It was so cool. I enjoyed it. But for me, like, yeah, just because like things are set around Christmas, like there's a bit of a Christmas party style or, just something like that, doesn't make it a Christmas movie. So I see that debate all the time about Die Hard and Home Alone, that they're Christmas movies. And I'm like, don't subscribe to that theory of them being Christmas movies just because what have they really got to do with Christmas other than that they're set in December? I don't know. It'd be like saying that any song that's released after, let's say, December 15th to January 1st is a Christmas song. It's just not right. It just doesn't happen. Not for me anyway. I still don't even know if I'm actually live because one side it says live and the other side it says live chat is currently unavailable. So I don't know if there's anybody's actually even seeing this live. Who knows? Weirdness. Christmas time's a little bit difficult for me also because I live on the other side of the world to where I grew up. Like I'm an Australian, as if you can't tell by my accent, but I live in Cyprus. So all my family's still back in Australia and don't really get to go back there and hang out with them. So even though I enjoy Christmas still and I enjoy spending it with my wife, she also is pretty isolated. She doesn't have any family here either. We're just alone. So we try and make the best of it for ourselves. But yeah, you kind of get a little bit go down memory lane at Christmas time and you start talking about Christmas stories and what you used to get up to at Christmas time. And then you start missing your family a little bit. So Christmas time is a little bit sad in this household. But I do have some good memories. I always like Christmas Day. Actually, Christmas Day in Australia is pretty well much a 3-day event, not just Christmas Day, especially for adults. It starts on Christmas Eve. Like you'll get together with friends and family, and you'll have some Christmas Eve drinks, which could turn into like shut up. Which could turn into more than just Christmas Eve. It quite often just blows over to Christmas Day. You might get a couple of hours sleep, and then you get up in the morning and you'll crack a beer and wish everybody a Merry Christmas and get cracking. But yeah, so Christmas Day really is a 3-day event in Australia for most Australians. Like I said, you started off on Christmas Eve, party Christmas Eve, then Christmas morning, take it a little bit easy, and then you start getting back into it about lunchtime. But between breakfast and lunch, you really are just prepping for Christmas lunch. I don't know what the rest of the world's like, but for us in Australia, we generally do Christmas lunch. It's not Christmas dinner or Christmas night. We do a Christmas lunch, and so in the morning there's we don't. Well, what's traditional for us is pretty well much like a Sunday baked dinner. Like we'll have ham, but a little bit better than just a regular Sunday lunch. So we'll start it off with an entree of prawn cocktails. So the prawns have to be shelled and or peeled, as whatever you call them. Maybe you call them shrimp. I don't know. In Australia, we call them prawns. But yeah, so you got to peel and prep all the shrimp and cut all the lettuce up and make sure everybody count how many people are coming for lunch. So you've got enough prawns and lettuce and shrimp cocktail glasses to go around for everybody. And there always seems to be one person in our family that doesn't like prawns. So they kind of just get tomato and lettuce. But most of us love prawns. So we have to peel the prawns and then you move on to like the main course, which you really do have a variety of meats. Like I said, you have ham, so somebody always has to buy a leg of ham. You have a butter beef, a butter pork, and chicken. That will probably be the three most common meats that we have on the Christmas table, and then it's just a variety. Oh, a variety. What's a fucking variety? A variety of baked vegetables, like mainly potatoes, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, things like that. Maybe you'll have some greens. And then for dessert, back when I was a kid, desserts were the best. Like my grandmother, but nan, she used to make a kick-ass trifle. Now, for those who don't know what a trifle is, it's something different. There would be it has jelly and custard and oh, God knows what really goes into a trifle. It's a bit of a mixed batch, that one, but it's very delicious, very delicious. So they're the type of things. And normally you've stuffed yourself that full with all that food that you need to have a little rest in the afternoon, and then you can get back up in the nighttime. You might make yourself a bit of a sandwich or something later on, but normally when the sun starts going down, you start to come back to life. So you have a few more beers, and generally the neighbours will come over, and you'll toast Merry Christmas again. Everybody sort of winding down. Christmas night's generally a bit of a quiet one and an early one, and then you get up for Boxing Day. Now, most Australians, I do feel, you either go to, well, back in the day, everybody wanted to go to the Boxing Day sales to, you know, buy stuff that was apparently going to be cheaper. But if you're a real Australian, a man Australian, I reckon, you're either getting ready to sit down to watch the Boxing Day test, or you're watching the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, the start of that. They both kick off on Boxing Day. Both start about 11 a.m. I think cricket might be even 10 or 10:30, and then the yacht race, the Sydney to Hobart, kicks off at 11 o'clock. So yeah, and then you either settle in for a day of cricket, or you watch them head out the harbour in their big, massive yachts. You're generally out drinking Crown Lager, so that's always something. And you just keep going until the sun goes down. And that's pretty well much 3 days worth of what Christmas is in Australia. It's the 3-day event. So that's really cool. Kind of miss that a little bit. Not so much the amount of drinking that goes on, because I don't drink all that much these days. Have a couple of beers here or there, but yeah, nowhere near like I was when I was a young fella. So that's pretty well much what I remember and what I miss of Christmas. I miss the prawns, and I'm yeah, and sitting around talking to your family. That's always a good thing for Christmas. As far as gifts, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, what was my favorite gift growing up? And the one that stands out to me the most is a skateboard that I got. I remember the night before Christmas, like, I don't know what your memories of Christmas are like, but mine are like, for a week or more before Christmas, like under the Christmas tree, there'd be all the presents, just about all the presents anyway. And each night you would sort of circle the Christmas tree, looking at the presents, and opening the tags up to see whose name was on it. I got two sisters, so he'd be like, "Oh, that one's for my older sister. Oh, that's for my other sister. Oh, he's one of mine." And then you'd go around the tree and you'd count them all, and there'd be, I don't know how many, but you'd sort of see them all. There'd be big packets and little ones, and one's hidden under another one. And you used to try and go and find them all, and you sort of pick them up and shake them to your head to see what they sounded like, or that's clothes, or if they were in a box, you'd be like, "What's in the box? What type of game is that?" And then over at our in front of our fireplace, there would be the three Christmas stockings that we would have, and that's where Santa would come and drop off his gifts right in front of the Christmas. Oh, right in front of the Christmas, right in front of the fireplace. Because as we all know, Santa comes down the chimney. And luckily in Australia, Christmas is in summertime, so the fire wasn't lit, so there was no chance of Santa ever being burnt. He could always get down our chimney and into our fireplace and not not ever get burnt. But I remember this one morning, come down, come come down from the other end of the house to the Christmas, or what is the lounge room, and I could see it because it didn't fit in the Christmas bag real well. So it wasn't before mum and dad even got up. I was one of the first ones down there. Mine was in the middle. and I could see a skateboard in there. I didn't have to touch it because it was too big, didn't fit in the bag. Half fit in the bag, but not all in the bag. So I got to, I could see what I was getting, what Santa had brought me, and it was a skateboard. I think I was only about 7 at the time, and that's all I wanted. I wanted a skateboard, and Santa delivered. That was probably the best Christmas present that I got. And I kept that skateboard for about the next 7 or 8 years, and I rode that sucker everywhere as much as I could. It was a massive big thing too. Like, it wasn't like a Tony Hawk double kick, one that I got into later when I could actually skate really well, but it was one of those ones that was like, a foot wide and a real beginner's board, and it was heavy. I remember how heavy it was, and I also remember when I got a new deck years and years later, like I said, about 10 years later, and I took the trucks off it and was using the same trucks as I was using on that board. I put it on the new deck, and I took it to, like, wherever I was going, like, whatever skate shop, and they're like, "Oh, these are actually really good trucks, like, you should keep them." So mum and dad oh, no, sorry. Santa actually gave me a really, really good present, and I'll always remember that one. That one was one of my favorite. The accessories that came with it, I wasn't sold on. I had elbow pads and knee pads and a helmet that mum insisted on me wearing every time that I went skating. No boy wants to be all protected up like that, but those were the rules. I had to wear them if I wanted to skate. I had to wear them, so I think I wore them for as long, or definitely whenever mum was around. When she wasn't around, no way. Always had skin off me too, but that's time for a story for another time. Another great Christmas present, and this one actually is right up there because it was the time that I got my very first push bike, like the BMX. I don't know if they're still a thing, but back in the 80s, they were the number one. They were the go-to push bikes that you could have. If you had a BMX, you were like one of the cool kids on the block. And my grandparents, they bought me a BMX, and I remember it so well. And the reason why I remember this story so well is because, like, it upset my sister massively. She cried and excuse me, threw a tantrum because she wanted a BMX, and the grandparents bought me one and she didn't get one. But her birthday is on the 6th of January, and they bought her one for her birthday, but she didn't know that on the 25th of December, on Christmas Day. She just saw that I got a bike when she asked for it. I didn't ask for it. I was too little to even ride it. I couldn't reach the pedals. That's how small I was when I got this BMX push bike. So she rode it anyway because I couldn't ride it because it was too big for me. Even with the seat pushed all the way down, I still couldn't reach the pedals. I couldn't reach the ground. I had training wheels on it and everything, but I still couldn't ride it very well. But yeah, that's why I remember that. And I'll tell you, that BMX push bike is still at my dad's place over in the shed. It's a little worse for wear, some probably 40 years later, but still have it. Still have it. And my sister's one that she got for her birthday, it's still in dad's shed too. It was funny. I still remember Cass's, my sister's bike was blue and white, and mine was black and gold. It's quite funny actually because I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, whose colours are black and gold. I had a push bike that matched them. Not that I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan back then, but it's funny how the colours stick. So they're probably my two most memorable gifts that I ever received. And probably my most memorable Christmas too was the one with the bike because of my sister's tantrum that she threw, and I just remember everyone trying to calm her down. Another good one that I remember. It's funny how you don't actually remember. Well, I don't remember every single Christmas. Like there's a couple that highlights. I remember one with my nephew. It was not our first Christmas with him, but it was the first Christmas where he was kind of walking. Well, he was walking, and he rushed inside and got straight into the lolly bowl and then choked on a lolly. It was before we even got to say hello to anybody. He just, like a little tornado, flew in and found the lollies and the chips and started hoeing into them like a little, like he'd never seen them before in his life. And then he started choking on them. So before we even got to say Merry Christmas to everybody, pretty well much giving him the Heimlich maneuver to unclog his windpipe. We all thought that he was going to choke to death. Shouldn't laugh about these things, but also that was about 20 years ago. It's funny that. Yeah. So, anyways, as soon as nobody's coming, I'm going to wrap this up today and call it a night. Thank you for listening to me dribble on about Christmas stories for half an hour. It's been fun. See you next Sunday.